Just good evening, everybody. Hope you're all doing well. Uh, so we're about to start. Today we're starting at 7:30 sharp. Just give me a thumbs up if you can hear me, uh, and comment nope if you can't hear me. Okay. Okay, just give me a like if you can hear me. Okay, just give me a thumbs up. Please like if you can hear me, comment if you can't hear me. We're about to begin. Awesome, awesome. I see a like there. So let's begin today's session. 30-minute sales gym for joining. Today marks a sort of milestone. We've reached episode 10 of the 30-minute sales gym, and today's session is how to build a simple sales system. This session, what we're going to be talking about is how to build a predictable and simple sales system that you can implement without fuss. And we're also going to, towards the end, discuss the tools you need or you can implement in order to make this whole process work or fit in to your business quickly. A poor sales process is visible in the results. So again, this is for business owners, anyone aiming to establish a business, or is you already have a business and you want to improve your revenue. This is for your sales reps, uh, anyone who sells any product. What I want to do is I'm teaching you practical skills that you can use to sell any product that you have, whether it's a service, whether it's software, whether it's a physical good. Uh, Whatever you have, you can utilize these processes to sell it. It's also for business leaders. By business leaders, we're talking about your managers, executives. You're in leadership, you run a team. This is for you. Actually, if you have a team, ask your team to be joining these sessions every Wednesday, 7:30 p.m. to 8 p.m. My name is Kalka Papiro. I'm your host for the evening. So, the question we're answering here is, why do most businesses struggle with sales? You'll notice that a lot of businesses fail, especially in Uganda. A lot of startups fail. Yes, the country is known as the most entrepreneurial country. However, so many of them go out of business, which is higher than most in most countries. Why is that? Uh, the reason is most organizations and most salespeople are working without a framework. They are being made to work without a real system in place to generate consistent revenue. So, what fits into a sales process? What we'll be looking at is lead generation, which is how do you generate leads and how do you market. Without a clear method of generating leads, then you don't have what we call a pipeline. You don't have consistent pipeline because you're not generating leads. You don't have a follow-up process. That's another big issue I've seen personally in organizations. It's we have the conversation, we have the meeting, and there's nothing after. Yet we all know sales uh, tend to close after the fifth interaction or so. Then we're looking at sales depend on the founder. If you're a business owner or you work in an organization where the founder is consistently the main person, the main focal point for closing business deals, for closing sales, uh, generally the organization tends to struggle because the founder has so many tasks to do. They can only stretch up to a certain limit. So if your business is struggling, you're most likely look in the mirror, you're most likely the founder and you are the main person in every meeting. You want to be in there, you're in every meeting, you're closing every deal. That is a real issue. Conversations are inconsistent. You don't have a structured conversation uh, structure or process, no tracking or accountability. You don't have systems in place to track uh, the results, to track the work, to track the pipelines, the leads generated. You don't have anything in place for that. And then you'll tend to also find you've got great months where business is good and your fluctuations are too much. You have way too many fluctuations. Tomorrow you're in a billion in revenue. The next month you barely hit 100 M. Look at it any figure you want, but you've got such big gaps month to month. So it's not consistent. And those are the main reasons why businesses struggle with sales. It's because of those. Well, those are the surface reasons. Now, let's talk about a sales system. What is it? What is it that I want to discuss with you today? Sales system is a repeatable process that consistently turns strangers into paying customers. You'll hear someone use a repeatable process, and you'll think they're just using English. But the reality is, if your processes are not repeatable, then they are not processes. If only one person fully understands the process, then there's no process in place. So if you don't have a repeatable process for each of the steps of the sales funnel, then you've got challenges, definitely. So you need a repeatable process for how you attract leads, how you qualify them, the way you do your follow ups. You need to have a process of closing, and also how do you retain customers. And once you've retained them, how do you get them to invest more into your business? And to prove it, I always like coming in with some studies, some facts. Harvard Research, Harvard Business Review, and Salesforce consistently, they generally do research on this. And companies using structured sales processes achieve significantly higher revenue growth. Uh, Consistent follow up dramatically improves conversation rates. And then most sales happen after multiple touch points, not just the first conversation. So if you don't have a follow up process, forget and smile. That is why your revenue keeps fluctuating. We addressed the follow up issue when we talked about the topic was, you can remind me if I'm wrong, but we were discussing feeling pushy, how to avoid feeling pushy during sales. Now, generally, if you can't follow up, you feel you're putting too much pressure on your prospects, then you're most likely not going to close at as much. Like, you're depending on the seasons to get close deals. That's why you are fluctuating a lot with your results. So why do systems work? Systems generally reduce decision fatigue, they reduce fear of selling, you're going to reduce emotional selling, and then they reduce inconsistency. Uh, and the pros of having systems in place: you've got confidence, you've got speed, uh, predictability, so you get to understand your sort of audience better, and then you've got customer trust. So when we're talking about systems working, you're looking at quite a few parts for this sales system. I hope you've got the picture that we're talking all the way from generating the leads up to building a long-lasting relationship with the customer once they've bought from you for the first time. So here's where I usually ask you to take a screenshot if you don't have a notebook. If you have a notebook, please write your notes. The 5-part simple sales system. Ladies and gentlemen, here I would like to use the tone of seriousness. If, and I repeat, if your process seems complicated, it seems difficult, it has too many things going on, generally, in my experience, and generally, it won't work. So try to keep it simple. There's an abbreviation we use, KISS, KISS. Keep it stupid simple. Keep it super simple. In short, just keep it simple. Simplicity works wonders. So here in our simple five-part simple sales system, this is what we're looking at. We're looking at how do we source leads. So once we've sourced leads, how do we initiate conversations? We have to initiate conversations, and then we have to move through qualification. That's your questioning. That's your understanding their pain, understanding their budgetary needs, etc. Then the P in simple is for present solutions. Remember, we don't present a solution until we understand the problem. Then lock the deal. That's your L. So this is where we close. Close. Under closing, you've got quite a few things that happen, but let's keep it simple. I've already shared with you three closing techniques that you can use, very simple ones that have a high effectiveness rate. So you will close more once you start using those. If you don't remember them, we did a video on closing. You can always recap. We keep these videos on YouTube for you to keep watching. So lock the deal in, and then lastly, expand and retain customers. So now let's break down this 5-part simple sales system. Number one, build a predictable lead flow. Uh, the challenge we face is in lead generation. There are so many shortcuts people want to take, but this is the area where most work is done. In generating leads, that is your fuel. That's what fuels your entire sales process. So if you don't get the right leads in from the beginning, then you've got challenges. The best leads generally tend to be referrals, because referrals tend to close. They already have a need, they've been sent to you because you are the best person to do the work. So referrals generally close quickly. However, it is difficult to start a business with referrals. And referrals generally come in at the end, at the point where you've gotten the customer to be loyal, they acquire from you regularly, they generally love your product, then a referral from them makes sense. Uh, some companies tend to want to push referrals, things like uh, asking your clients for referrals from the bat. Customer care team is constantly calling to request more referrals. That generally doesn't work. You might get a yes, 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 I'll refer someone. Once in a while, they will refer someone, but you can't generate a constant lead flow simply from referrals. So every time I hear a business saying I'm growing off of referrals, for me it's already a negative. Then you've got a deeper issue, because your referrals generally can't fuel your business enough. You're running your business on empty if you're a car. Then we go into LinkedIn outreach. So LinkedIn is good depending on the product you're working with. If it's more corporate, then LinkedIn works. You're looking at WhatsApp marketing. WhatsApp marketing can work. Social media content. So this is just how do you get people to see you, to understand your brand, so awareness, and then at the same time, how do you get them to reach out to you? So social media marketing, WhatsApp marketing, you've got your top of funnel content that you generate, mid funnel content, and then lastly, your bottom of funnel, which is your content that closes but might not go viral. Then you've got your networking events. So attending networking events, that's a good place to find leads, because if you're going to the right events, you're going directly to people who need your service or who are interested. Uh, you just have to understand how to network productively. Then we go into paid ads. Paid ads get mixed feelings. However, I won't lie to you, they're the most effective when used right. Paid ads are quick. You are not waiting for a viral video to finally go viral. You pay for clicks, you pay for views, you pay and you get a result. So, paid ads, my favorite platform for paid ads was Facebook, but since that was pretty much banned in Uganda, people are using TikTok, people are using Google. Google is a major player for paid ads. And then lastly, partnerships. If you don't know how to sell yourself, align yourself with partners. that can actually do that part for you. So partnerships is a good place to start. I always recommend looking at synergies between you and other people within your ecosystem. Most businesses fail not because of bad products. Generally, uh, you're not. Most businesses fail not because what they have is bad. They fail because they don't know how to get what they have in front of the right people. So when you don't know how to get to the right leads, how to generate the right leads, then business sucks and you're going to fail. So how do we start more sales conversations? This is part two of simple. Uh, we have sourced our leads. Now we need to start conversations. Uh, my favorite thing is cold calling. So long as you can cold call, you have a phone, you have your minutes, you're able to reach out to anybody. And if you have your pitch well organized, then cold call discovery calls are the easiest and most effective. WhatsApp chats, they work depending on the product. Uh, though text is a bit impersonal, I still do prefer the discovery call over WhatsApp and DMs. DMs can work as well. You just have to do it right. You should not sound too pushy in the text. Remember, the way people generally type, the way they speak. So in your DMs, make sure you're effective. Then email conversations, emails. I generally look at emails as a very good follow up tool, though email can be effective as well for initial conversations. If you can't find the contact number of the right person, email is not a bad way to go. And meetings. Uh, you could do cold drop-ins. You could go, you could schedule meetings and actually go for meetings. So meetings are a very fabulous place to be in. Uh, if if I were to compare cold calling and meetings are number one. Then qualification, where step number three. Qualification, not every lead is a buyer. The challenge we face is thinking everyone is a buyer. Your product is not for everyone. The second your product is for everyone, you have a big challenge. You can't have a product that's for everyone. So you find Samsung has phones for the ultra wealthy, they have phones, low cost phones for they have phones for everybody. The best example of this, if you remember Nokia, if Nokia used to be the phone manufacturer back in the day, they had the N series, but they still had the Nokia 91, the Nokia 6110 and the 9110. They still had the smaller button phones, yet they also did have the ones that would fold open into computers, laptops. It was amazing. But they understood they can't have one phone for everyone. So your product can't be for everyone. You can have tiers, you can have different package offerings to try and capture a wider market. But the second you think it's for everyone, you're in trouble. Your foundation is already shaky. So qualification questions on the screen: do they have a real problem? Do they have urgency, right? Do they have a problem? Do they want to solve the problem now? Can they afford? Do they have the budget? And are they the decision maker? Then there's people who are out there window shopping. You also have people who are out there They may buy, they may not buy. They are still testing the markets. Uh, Not everyone is a buyer. So top people and businesses disqualify quickly. Actually, top businesses disqualify from the point of production. The second they came up with the product, packaging, etc., they already disqualified a lot of people. Stop selling products, solve problems. This I cannot repeat enough. If you're still in the mindset of selling a product, I sell a phone, I sell, uh, you're selling features like call the battery, the fast charging, then you're really going to struggle with selling. But if you look at it as solving problems, and you've gotten step two, qualification, and step one, sourcing leads, if you've gotten those right, then solving problems will really uh, get you across the finish line. So, bad sales approach, here's what we do. Better sales approach, here's how we solve your problem. So always look at it as you're a doctor, you're RXing, and you're curing. You can't cure where there's no illness. The fortune is in the follow up. Never forget this. A lot of sales reps become lazy at this stage. Following up is critical. Simple. Here's a On the screen, you've got a simple follow up system that you can implement. Uh, you could make it better. We're coming up with a solution to help you with follow ups, actually, because follow ups are a nightmare. Simple follow up system. A lot of people chat where people feel like they're being pushy, is usually on the follow up. So, what we've said is day one, initial conversation. Day two, send in the proposal, the brochure, the documentation, so share the value. Day three, address objections. So, because you've shared the value, you're following up, they've given you some feedback, address that feedback. And then day seven, ask for a decision. So, again, rule of thumb, every objection you handle, ask for a decision. Unless you're doing a lot of B2B, then yeah, you will ask for a decision. However, the internal business processes of your buyers may affect the decision making time, but always ask for a decision. Persistence builds trust when done professionally. Don't call them every day. uh, Again, use emotional intelligence for this. Retain and expand. So now you've closed them. How do we expand the business? So existing customers are easier to sell to. This is known by everyone. They already know you, they already like you, and they already trust you if you've done all the work right in delivering the service. So what then do we do? Provide regular check-ins. We have to have an upselling process in place, referral programs in place where we reward them for referring customers to us. We have to have a customer support process in place. And then we have to have educational content, user manuals, etc. Educational content is a big plus in the modern world of business. People want to learn continuously, and it's easier to deliver education with the internet. So let's look at it with this flow in place. So we generate the lead. Once we've generated the lead, we go into a conversation with them. Purpose of the conversation is to qualify them. We provide them then with a proposal because we know we can solve their problem. They are fully qualified. And then we close. After closing, we close again and get a repeat customer. Now, one thing that is true, you can't improve what you can't track or what you don't track. So there are tools that are available to help you track. You've got Google Sheets, you've got Trello, Notion, WhatsApp Business gives you some analytics. You've got your HubSpot CRM, Zoho CRM. I'm a big fan of CRMs. You also have free options on the internet, self-hosted free options like Motic. That's Mautic. I used that at some point. Very good, lovely system. So there are tools you can use on the internet. Some are free, some are paid for. However, there are areas where you must invest in tools. There are certainly areas where a software being in place should not be looked at as an expense but an investment. Uh, Production, if you're looking at your inventory, 100% invest in a tool to keep standards. If you're looking at sales, because that's where your money comes from, 150% invest in tools. When you're looking at how you manage your finances, 100% tools. So long as you can make your life easier, tools. You have a large number of employees working with you, for you, HR, tools. The tools are available, invest in them. It will make your life easier and help you to grow your business. So those are the tools that we recommend. I'll just put that screen back on. You can screenshot for your reference and look at each of those tools. If you've never heard of them, take a look. HubSpot is very good. It's a paid system. Motic, which is not on the screen. Again, I'll repeat the spelling: Mautic, Motic. It is a CRM. Biggest sales system mistakes. Number one, no consistent lead generation. So you don't have a clear lead generation process, or you get leads from time to time. You don't have consistent leads. Mistake number two, poor follow up. Mistake number three, I'm not going to talk about follow up. I've said so much about follow up. So, mistake number three, no qualification process. You're just having conversations for the sake of conversations, but they lead to nothing. Mistake number four, talking too much during sales calls. 80-20 rule. We did a video on that. We did a session on the 80-20 rule. Please go back to that. Remember, you are number one, listening; number two, understanding; number three, analyzing; number four, solving. So you have to solve the problem last, understand the problem well. Mistake number five, no tracking system. You're generating the leads, you're doing all of this, but you have no way of tracking the calls, you have no way of tracking the leads, you have no way of tracking the follow-ups. Big mistake. Number six, relying on referrals, sitting there and uh, saying, listen, let's look for more referrals. That is a huge mistake. It's, I'll be honest, my brutal honesty, I hope you don't mind, it's clear and utter laziness. So build your sales system this week. Uh, SNCT Marketing, we are a consultancy firm. We do consultations, we do coaching, we do mentoring. Book a free consultation. Reach out if you're interested in a free consultation. Uh, we can have a quick call. Just type in the comment section, call me. We will reach out. We will find a way to reach out to you from the comment section so that we can schedule a quick call. We help you build your sales processes, help you improve on your conversations. We train sales teams, we train individuals, we create predictable revenue. The goal is to come in and create predictable revenue. Sometimes it's boring. However, it's growth. guaranteed. Small improvements in system create massive long-term results, and that's what we're up to. Next week, so what's coming next? Next week, I want us to be focused on the first 10 customers. So, my challenge for you this week is put in place your sales process. A lot of challenges with this is the thinking part. Think it through, write down your processes, and then let's work on getting our first 10 customers. Simple as that. With that being said, thank you very much for joining. This is SNCT Marketing. I am Carl Capapiro. If you have any questions, please feel free to put them in the comment section and I will answer as we go. If there are no questions, I think we'll give it a minute and then we can go offline. Thank you very much for attending. All right. Thank you very much. Have a good night. I will close the stream now.